Hey guys, this is John and Kurt with FLR, and today we're going to be talking about the Mossberg MC2SC, which is Mossberg's subcompact handgun.
So the MC2SC is Mossberg's entry into this highly competitive subcompact, micro-compact pistol line.
I would actually compare this more to a micro compact, seeing how thin it is. But let's get our first mag, dude. This is the 11 round mag. Let's try this. Okay. Good trigger. Good grip. There's a lack of grip texture, just like the MC2C, right here. But the grip texture seems to be all in the right spots. The memory pad's great. I like this.
A gun for this size it is. She's a little snappy, but that's to be expected with, a carry gun of this size. That being said, it's really manageable. I shot the 14 round mag with the extended base plate. So that actually gives you, that way you've got your pinky without adding too much in terms of, just carryability.
The thing I really like about the Mossbergs is that their optics cut is super low compared to others on the market. So the co-witness with this Bushnell is really easy. They do have the Tritium Sights on here. So it's a 3-dot Tritium sight. You've got a good mag release. There's a little shelf right here for where the mag release is, so I can fit right there. The memory pads on both sides. Overall, I really do like this.
The other thing I'll say about this is the slide serrations work really well. There's nothing terribly flashy about them, but they really do work. And that's something that I really do appreciate about that.
Now the trigger itself, there's a wall, just like the MC2C wall, almost 90, break, and then reset right there. I mean, it's a hybrid trigger, so it's flat faced, but it's not completely flat, and it breaks it flat. So I really do like this. I think they got another winner on their hands.
The trigger pull's a little bit, it's not heavy, but it's stock for what you expect in a carry gun, so it is going to be a little bit heavier than you might find, but it's on par with everything else out there.
So shooting experience with this gun, unlike some of the other small subcompact guns, this gun seems to shoot flat and easy to get back on target, especially when you have the extended magazine, which gives this gun a full grip.
I will say, when you run it with the flush fit, like a lot of other guns in this category, it's the grip is small, it's short, your pinky's going to hang off. But with the extended 14 round mag, I think it solves a whole lot of problems. It doesn't add a lot to the footprint itself. I got to tell you, I would probably definitely carry with the 14 round extended and then have the 11 as a backup.
Personally speaking, if I was going to choose one of these Mossbergs though, and I know that I would carry with this magazine here, I would go with the C. Personally, I mean, I would rather take the extra barrel length than and the extra grip length without having to use a magazine extension.
I would totally agree. I would say, honestly, it's a lot easier to conceal, and also, as it is your EDC and when you're carrying it, having that additional, that extended barrel length isn't really a problem at all. Really, where you run into issues, it's going to be, in the grip, and that's really where it's going to print. So I agree, and really what I'll do a lot of times is it just depends on what I'm doing. If I really need to make sure that I'm not printing at all, then you go with the flush fit. But otherwise, I think I would probably carry with the 14.
We got to go into our rating system.
Absolutely.
So first and foremost, we talk about build quality. I give it 5. It's a well-built gun. The polymer doesn't feel cheap. The slide is made out of stainless. It's just well-built overall, like you expect from any Mossberg firearm.
I also give it a 5. I totally agree. The slide it's 416R stainless, which you'll see in a lot of it's pretty much standard in higher end pistol. But again, I like the fact that you do have the option for night sights, But overall, the build quality it's solid, it's tight. I don't have any issues with this whatsoever.
Next one is reliability. 5 out of 5. We've shot about 300 rounds through it. No issues whatsoever. And we come to expect that from a Mossberg product. Again, just like the C, it eats almost everything you put into it.
Totally agree. Same, 5 out of 5. We tested a lot of different ammo types and some different weights as well, and we didn't have any issues whatsoever.
Now comes the feel. Now, this gun might not feel right for all people, but for us, or for me in particular, it feels great in my hand. 1911 grip angle. We've got that texturing in the right places like Kurt mentioned earlier. I give it a 4 just because of the size of the grip. I want a longer grip, and that's a great option to go to the C.
I give it a 4. I will say that the grip itself and the way that they've done the texturing, at first I would say that they were really kind of going for form over function. That being said, it does work. Now, if it's a really, really hot day, it's a little bit sweaty, would I rather have that texturing across the entire grip? I would. Was it an issue? Not really. So the other thing that I really like about this is when we talk about recoil impulse, I personally lean toward the type of grip where it's going to be a little bit longer, a little more oval shaped, as opposed to what you'll see in like the P365 or maybe the Hellcat where it's narrower and it's a little more squared off. My personal preference is a setup like this, which you'll see in this, or things like the Smith & Wesson, like the Shields. So I found that the felt recoil impulse is lower in this kind of setup than some of the others.
Yeah, and the one thing that we have forgotten to mention about feel is it does have that nice little memory pad in the front that has the same texturing as the grip. So next is aftermarket. And that being that it is a Mossberg, the aftermarket is nothing, especially since it's a Mossberg pistol. So I'm going to give it a 0. You know what? I'll give it a 1 because there are a ton of holster options, but as a aftermarket parts and things like that, it doesn't have much. And we see this often with a more budget-minded firearm.
That's pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. I'm going to go 3, but I do agree. You're not going to find as many options with this pistol as you will as, like a P365 or like a 40, Glock 43, something like that. That being said, you do have the, RMSC optics cut. So you do have options there. There are some side options. Again, it's going to be more limited than you might find in other things. And, as this gun's been out and as it continues to be out longer, there's going to be more holster options as well. So it is somewhat limited, but I think that there's other guns out there that there's really zero aftermarket. And so I think this is it's starting to kind of gain some traction. So that's why I give it a 3.
I'm actually going to bump up to a 2 because I totally forgot that the sights are SIG sights. So there are plenty of sight options as well. They are cut for SIG pattern number 3 or 4. Refer to your owner's manual on that one. Next is factory options. And I'm going to say it's a 3. It could be a 4, but personally it's a 3 for me because it does have the optics cut ready from the factory, which should be standard. And there's night sight options as well. I'm going to give that a 3 on that one.
I'm going to lean 4 just because it is. I think that the options that you can get straight from the factory, they've done a really great job. Like you said, there is an optics cut, but the fact that you can get standard true glow night sights as an option available, I think that's great. I do like their extended, 14 round mag as well. I think that the overall fit and finish on that is good, and I like to have the option for that.
And the last one is our X Factor. And to me, it's a 5. That takedown system is the X Factor. They really had the new gun buyer in mind when it came to that to add that bit of safety to it.
So for me, when we're talking X Factor, I give it a 3. And the reason being is when we're looking at price points in a very highly competitive market, this thing comes in anywhere from about $340 to $420. There's a lot of options that are available in that price range. And I think that for that, there might be some other guns out there that have more features available. Now, that being said, my biggest thing is this. Go out, try them out, see what works best for you. I will say that I've seriously considered this as my EDC in terms of reliability and everything. I think it's great. And I don't have any issues with that. It's comfortable, but I'll be honest, of a lot of these sort of, subcompacts, micro compacts that I've shot, I personally don't shoot the Mossbergs quite as well as some of the others. Now that's just me personally, So when I'm looking at that X factor, that thing for me, that's why I kind of give it a 3. Between that and sort of the price point, it's really kind of where I fall.
Well, and to add on to that, the option of getting the C, which is the same price over this, the C seems more versatile as a carry, home defense, and range gun, where this is more of your carry gun. You're not going to want to go out and spend all day at the range with this. And that's my personal take on that. Even with the 14 round mag, the shorter barrel and everything, it isn't the biggest. Now, am I saying this is a bad gun? I will give this an overall rating of a 4 out of 5. If this was the option and I was looking in that budget range, this would be one of the top options for that. If it was between this and the C, though, I personally would lean towards the C over the SC.
I totally hear where you're coming from. And I think it just comes down to application and really what's most important to you. If, size and concealability are, absolutely paramount for you, then lean toward the SC, right? But to your point, I do like the flexibility of just the standard C model a little bit more.
So overall, we love the Mossberg. Trigger's good. It's got a ton of great features on it, but it's not for everybody. Now, the question that we always ask, are you a buyer of this gun? And I will go first. I would say yes, but with the C model. The SC is just not for me. If I was looking for a gun in that size, then it'd be pricing out different options. But as a first gun, I would be a total buyer as a first gun for this.
So for me, if I'm a buyer, I'm going to say yes. And the reason that I'm saying that is because literally this morning, I was thinking about, what my carry options are. And this is a serious contender. My thing was, I was like, okay, but if I go there, I'm going to have to spend some time and get some rounds through this thing so that I'm more proficient with it. There's other guns, especially in this category, that I'm naturally more accurate and faster on target with. That's just me. Does that make me a buyer? Possibly. Would I suggest this to other people? Absolutely. I think that this really should be in the top 3, maybe top 5 of guns you try out and figure out what you want to do for your EDC.
You're absolutely right. I wouldn't hesitate to suggest any of the Mossberg pistols for an EDC gun or a home defense gun or even a range gun. They are well built. They are reliable. The triggers are great on them. But like Kurt said, go to the range, try them out, be your own judge. We can only suggest things, and we're glad you chose this video to watch. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day.